Mi gente, listen up, porque this is important. Outshine LGBTQ Plus Film Festival celebrating cinema diversity and community is back in town April 23rd through May 3rd, 2026. Y cuando te digo que es grande, it's big. All right, this is South Florida's premier LGBTQ plus cultural arts event. All right, we're talking legacy, and this all started with the Miami Gay and Lesbian Film Festival back in 1998. Cuando yo y Dino teníamos como 4 años. And the Fort Lauderdale Festival in 2008. Y después dijeron, let's make this even more powerful. And boom! Outshine was born. Now it's one iconic brand reflecting nuestra comunidad. Multicultural, diverse, loud, proud, y un poquito dramática también. And let me tell you something. This is not just sitting in a theater watching a movie. Esto es una experiencia, It's designed to inspire you, entertain you, educate you, y maybe, just maybe, turn you on just a little. And joining me today is one of my really good friends, un amigo del show, mi hermano from another drama, el hombre que decide what we're obsessed with before we even know we're obsessed with it. His name is Dino Mosquera. Welcome, Dino, to the FayWhat show. Bienvenido, mi amor.
Gracias, mamá. Qué bueno.
¿Cómo tú estás, mi amor?
Year.
Otro año aquí en la cama conmigo.
Otro año en la cama con Faye. ¿Qué
Oh,
tal?
my God. Oye, con todo ese ánimo que tú dices, oye, yo no me meto en una cama con una mujer.
Por ti nada más.
Y él me dice eso cada año y después se mete en la cama como nada, ¿verdad? Súper cómodo y todo.
It's been 20 some years, girl. So.
Oh, man. So you started, ¿cuándo empezaste con Outshine?
Yo empecé como
volunteer.
Primero
okay.
como asistente regular.
Okay.
En The Late Night, cuando el festival empezó en el 98.
Uh-huh. ¿Y Mark estaba ahí?
No, era Robbie Rosenberg.
Uh-huh.
Robbie Rosenberg was the founder. It was a small festival in Miami Beach only.
Mm-hmm.
It was not for Florida. It was just Miami Beach. And Robbie Rosenberg had a great idea, and a lot of people followed that and ran with that. So.
And you were drawn to that, so you were like, okay, I want to be a part of this.
I always loved, even when I was back home in Caracas, I used to go to see foreign films, independent films, film festivals.
Mm-hmm. ¿Te gustaba eso siempre?
Siempre me gusta el festival español, el festival francés. En Caracas hacían mucho. Como las ciudades grandes, todas tienen festivales de cine independiente. Siempre me ha gustado eso, siempre, de toda la vida. Y cuando llegué a Miami, por supuesto, en Miami en los 90, había también esa onda cultural también que estaba llegando a Miami, ¿no? Porque Miami siempre ha sido una ciudad muy, muy cosmopolita, pero también muy de fiesta, pero la movida cultural no era tan excitante como hoy en día.
Y en ese entonces habían películas como ahora, porque ahora como hay de todo eso, como de países que uno no piensa, ¿verdad? Tienen películas y también actores, and you're like, wow, where are you from? You are drop dead gorgeous. Do they have that kind of diversity in there?
Estos son los años de cuando salió Queer as Folk, por ejemplo.
Oh, okay.
Cuando salió la serie británica antes de la americana. Cuando estaba, por ejemplo, Short Song Trilogy, ¿te acuerdas? Con Harvey Feinstein.
Yes.
Películas que fueron emblemáticas en inglés.
Iconic.
Yeah, iconic everywhere. And we watched them back home. And obviously, when you move here, then you start seeing, movies from all over the place, all over the world, that were making great stories. And then, Latin Americans started to also, start making great films.
Yeah.
In our community, in the LGBT community.
So many. Is that what keeps you so passionate? Because cada año tú te cuestas en esta cama y tú estás más apasionado que el año pasado. O siempre estás como super excited de, 2 o 3 películas, ¿verdad? Porque yo siempre pensaba, este tipo ni las ve. Right. Porque imagínate, las entradas son como miles. Sí. Y él tiene como, esta está buena, esta no, vamos a bajarla como a 200 y de esas 200 las bajan de nuevo. I mean, like, it's a mind screw, you know?
Sí, recibimos como 300 envíos de películas de todas partes.
And that's from everywhere, right. Shorts, long versions, I mean, like, from every country.
Yeah, long features, documentaries, shorts, in every gender. en
Genre.
gay, genre. Gay,
Genre.
lesbian,
Dilo de nuevo.
genre.
He's my favorite
Género,
Venezuelan.
género.
Género. Estamos hablando en español, ¿ok?
Estamos hablando en Spanglish.
Spanglish. Uh-huh.
Y so we narrowed down from 300 to 62 movies that make the
No
program.
es fácil. No es fácil. Oye, y ustedes se fajan. Como una persona dice, no, esta película tiene que entrar. Y otra persona, bueno, hay otra que está más o menos similar. No quiero que este entre. No, you have to.
¿Tú sabes lo que más me faja a mí? Es que yo soy de los pocos que veo las películas en español, porque hablo español, porque puedo entenderlas, también entiendo portugués, o sea, las películas en portugués también las veo. When somebody's telling me that this movie is not Latin enough, or I'm like, me encabrona.
Of course. This film is not Spanish enough.
Right.
There's not enough brown people in it.
Or this is not, too representative of the Latin community. Don't tell me that.
When it's coming from a Latin country, from a Latin director, from Latin actors, how is it not?
So I've heard that before, and eso sí
eso lo encojona. Yeah, I said that. Oye, su mamá en Venezuela, perdón que yo dije eso. I love that lady. Hola. Pero
hola, mamá.
Pero si tú, con los años que tienes ahí, si hay una película que sí, tú quieres que entre, you'll fight for it and they'll respect you.
Porque además
right?
nosotros somos muy diversos en la comunidad latina. We don't know that here in the States, but we're not just monolithic, We speak Spanish, even movies in Spanish, you have no idea. There are movies in Latin America that are made in Quechua, for example, for indigenous people in like Bolivia and Peru. There are movies in Spain that are made in Basque or in, Gallego. So, but they're still, Hispano-Americans, Latino-Americans. So you can't tell me that those are not representative of our community. We are so diverse. We are so diverse. We're white, we're black, we're brown, we're anything in between. So the community is vast, and we need to represent that in the festival.
100%. 100%. I've heard people that see a movie and go, "Oh, that wasn't gay enough." What? Like, how much more gay? He slept with the guy. Like,
yeah, and a lot of a lot of things that we deal with that is beyond just the mere fact that coming out or there are other things that we go through, like any other community. We're not the only ones. Yeah. We have to represent that too. I think we discussed in years past. Remember that movie with deaf people? A lesbian story in the Mexican deaf mute community. That is so fantastic to me.
Trailblazing, y hay gente que vive en eso.
Claro.
So like how
many gay people are deaf in our community?
Probably a lot.
A lot of people.
And I've seen very few pictures or movies to reflect that.
Por eso esta película a mí me pareció tan importante que se hablara de esto, y casualmente el año pasado en un crucero me conseguí un muchacho que hace eso. Él es traductor él todavía puede hablar, pero los padres no hablan, entonces no escuchan. Entonces él se especializa en esto. Y yo le comenté de la película. Y él no sabía de la película.
Wow.
Y él estaba súper emocionado.
I bet you he was looking for it.
Yes, latino, él es latino. Los padres son sordomudos, pero él habla.
Para él poderse ver a él mismo en esa pantalla grande, ¿verdad? Que Dios mío, qué ánimo, qué feeling, qué emoción.
Pero eso te dice que estamos haciendo en Latinoamérica, que también se hacen historias que son, ¿me entiendes? Que son, es como Coda. Es como ponte tú que es Coda, pero para una comunidad bien específica en México.
But we need those stories, okay?
Sí.
And, not just Spanish story. Outshine have been a trailblazer for trans films since the beginning,
Absolutely.
right? And I think it was a couple of years ago that you had a film where someone was unfortunately murdered. Was in the film. And
a true story.
And you kids, instead of kind of like glamorizing that, right? You had somebody come and speak about, the importance and about, what happens to, you brought in trans organizations to represent.
We had a vigil.
You know what I mean? You had a mini vigil there, for that. And I thought that was so important and just a testament to what Outshine does, para todo el mundo. Tú sabes
Sí.
que, I mean,
No, es que la comunidad trans latina, por ejemplo, que es tan grande aquí en el sur de la Florida, tenemos que representarlos a ellos también.
100%,
¿Me entiendes?
100%.
Entonces, esto es lo que hace un festival de cine. Para mí, la importancia del festival de cine es que representa las microcomunidades dentro de la comunidad en general.
Al final del día, ustedes quieren que cualquier persona vea la pantalla y que se vea ellos mismos.
Absolutamente.
You know, we feel unseen for most of our lives. You know, that world is not our world. We have to live in it, you know? So to be able to sit in a theater with friends, right? And laugh when friends laugh. And gasp when friends gasp. And cover your eyes sometimes, because I've seen some shit in some of those movies too, that have been like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that.
And when you
know?
get the joke.
And when you get the joke,
a joke in Spanish is sometimes you can't translate it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything in English. So when you laugh at the same time because that other person got it, is something special about
There's
that.
something energetically just amazing about that. So do yourself a favor that even if you don't speak Spanish, go to one of these films. The subtitles are there. You could read. All right, you are right. If not, bring your closest hot guy to read you what's on the pantalla, and then you'll be fine. We're going to talk about a couple movies. I got to get to it because I don't want to run out of time. All right, vamos a empezar con la película que se llama La Cena. Okay, vamos a empezar elegante y peligroso. Okay, La Cena is coming to you Abril 23 at 7:30 at the Miami Beach Botanical Garden. Okay. Which is a gorgeous location, all right? This is the opening of the Outshine Film Festival. So, España, Franco, right? Fascism y un chef tratando de sobrevivir mientras servir dinner para el enemigo. Dino, esto es una drama, esto es una drama con tapas, okay?
Pero es un drama comedia.
Okay, okay.
It's funny. It's actually funny. I mean, when you think about, for us Latin Americans that know so much the Franco era and the 70s in Spain, that was so repressive, and how, he was a dictator on the right, and he crashed on Spanish civil rights and on the minorities and on the gays and the Gitanos. So he, like every other extreme right fascist, he crashed on those. And por supuesto, es una historia de un grupo de ellos no son cocineros, ellos trabajan como cocineros, pero están en la resistencia.
Okay.
Ellos son opositores al gobierno de Franco.
Pero son chefs.
Pero ellos los pusieron para salvarlos, porque lo iban a fusilar. Los seleccionan para cocinar una cena para Franco, que está de visita en este pueblo, básicamente. Y así de imprevisto. Llega el tipo, entonces llegan la comitiva el día anterior y tienen que preparar todo esto para que entonces Franco y su comitiva puedan cenar. Ese es el centro de la historia.
Holy crap.
Y en el medio de todo esto está este mangazo que se llama Mario Casas. Si tú no lo has visto, es precioso. Mario Casas, si me estás escuchando, I'm in love with you. Está increíble. Él es el protagonista, él es muy popular en España, todo el mundo lo conoce. Yo no sé si él es abiertamente gay, pero tiene como un gay following. Okay. Y está espectacular y lo ves en toda su gloria en la película.
He's naked.
Oh, yes. And, y la historia, y además uno de los cocineros, por supuesto, el principal, es gay. Pero con el closet de la época, ¿no? Porque estamos hablando de los 70. Esto es antes al principio de los 70, cuando Franco todavía estaba fuerte en España. Él murió en el 75.
Okay.
Entonces, todo esto está pasando y tú ves, es tragicómico. Es muy cómico para mí. Bueno, a mí me encanta el humor español, entonces para mí una película que trate de esto, porque es la seriedad del fascismo español.
Pueden matarlos a cualquier momento.
Que todo eso lo ves durante la película. Porque están a punto de asesinarlos y de fusilarlos, porque en los tiempos de Franco te fusilaban.
No, eso era como le llamaban.
El fusilamiento, los ponían contra una pared y los fusilaban.
Oh my God.
Just like that.
Pero esa es la realidad.
Just like that.
Es la realidad.
And they did it to the gays, they did it to the gypsies, they did it to anybody that was opposed to them. So it's a very important part of Spain history.
And I love that this is your opening night.
Opening night.
Okay, so opening night, so your tickets also come with a beautiful party. Okay, you get to be at the Miami Beach Botanical Garden that if you haven't been, ay Dios mío, es precioso,
It's gorgeous,
lindísimo.
yeah.
I mean, las fotos que vas a tomar, let me tell you, right? I love that, and I love that we're kicking it off with this incredible movie.
Yeah, that's right across the street from the Miami Beach Convention Center in South Beach on Thursday, the 23rd
okay,
at 7:30.
At 7:30. So get your tickets, outshinefilm.com. Ahora vamos para México. Jaripeo, ¿así se dice?
Jaripeo, sí.
Jaripeo. Entonces, ¿qué quiere decir jaripeo?
Yo no sé qué es lo que
ok.
se dice.
De verdad, pero tú eres mi enciclopedia. Tú eres mi Spanish encyclopedia. So, okay, bueno, okay, nos vamos para México. April 24th, 5:30 p.m. at the Silver Spot Cinema, downtown Miami. Jaripeo, cowboys, sudor, masculinidad y secretos. Ay, papá, esto está caliente. Porque let's be honest, mucho macho, pero también mucho deseo escondido. Este film dice soy vaquero, pero también soy yo. Y eso takes a lot of courage.
Sí, básicamente se lleva a cabo en la comunidad de los rodeos, de los rodeos mexicanos. Los chacales, tú sabes.
But they started cowboys. I mean, Mexico, people don't know that. But you know what I mean? These people here in America think that, like, and I'm like, hello. No. They've been wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots since the beginning of time.
Oh, no, that comes, I mean, it's all, the border is just a line. It's just, this was all part of the same, this was Mexico. Okay, let's call it the way it was.
It's true.
It was Mexico. So just now there is a line that divides them. But, these cowboys existed from years and years ago. Now all over Mexico, in the north, they call chacales.
Chacales.
Yeah, those.
A little rougher.
There is a whole subculture in the Latin community that is after chacales, that are turned on by chacales. Some of my friends are.
But a chacales, like what does that translate to?
Chacal es como it's como as a thug.
Oh,
it's like a thug.
Okay. But of course,
with the chains and they're rough. They're not very hyper masculine, so they're not, they're not into the kicking or the, hey girl,
yes.
Hey girl, none of that. Yeah. Very, very macho. There's a whole subculture of that. Look it up. There's a lot of that, and particularly, around Michoacán y los estados del norte, Baja California, Sinaloa, all those states in the north. So with that also comes the culture of the rodeos. And this is taking place in that culture. So, bringing up... I'm very impressed with Mexico lately, how they are mixing it up. And they are going after things that are traditionally Mexican, because Mexico emphasizes and has always been, el macho mexicano has always been like, elevated.
Yeah.
Not lately. They're giving us stories about how this is also toxic and how, this is hurting them. And that's so important. I think the Mexican new age in film is fantastic.
Well, imagine, and at the same time, while they're being targeted by our government, it's incredible how they still are like, screw you, I'm going to still make these movies.
Mind you, there is a lot of, and the mix is also a lot of the cartel culture. And so there is crime in between. So it's a lot of that. There's another movie, by the way, on the festival, also from Mexico, that is called On the Road, En el Camino. Fantastic. Also in the same area. Also kind of like with the same, hyper masculine guys that, will not dare to just, look at another guy, but at night they may make a...
Oh yeah, Brokeback Mountain. Hello. Next up, we're going to Cuba. Vamos a Cuba, okay? Baracoa.
Oh, Baracoa, yeah.
Baracoa, right? Baracoa. Ahora, Cuba. Cuba enters the chat. So April 24th at 7:15 at the Silver Spot Cinema, and it'll be streaming May 4th through May 10th. So Baracoa, un papá, a revolutionary dad, un hijo perdido y un doctor que de noche es drag queen. Excuse me, dame más. Esto es lo que yo quiero aquí, right here. Come on.
No, and they take on a road trip to a town called Baracoa from Havana. And but yeah, there is actually one of the stars of the film is this famous Italian actor that we all know in Latin America. He's made a lot of films in Spanish, and I think that was his last film, and he spoke Spanish, but he lived in Havana and met this doctor, the one you're seeing on the screen right now, and he's treating him, and they and then the son, who's super hot, by the way. Como todos los cubanos que conocemos. Porque todos los cubanos que yo conozco están buenísimos.
Y como todos los drag queens. Yeah. Because siempre los drag queens son like super bonito as a boy, and then you know they're going to be a really cute drag queen.
The drag queen is attractive, but the son, who's not a drag queen, is super hot. Super hot. But so they take on this trip to take the remains to the father's town, Baracoa. And they cross Cuba. It's a beautiful film. You and I living here, you have seen a lot of stories from Cuba, and a lot of that is about the exodus and, people leaving the island, which is important that we need to see that.
Of course.
Pero esto es como más, it shows you Cuba in a different light. Is the countryside, the good people along the road, and the connections they make. And how they connect themselves, because he couldn't stand him. Because el hijo pensaba que el drag queen le estaba robando, porque el papá tenía dinero, o era uno de los privilegiados en Cuba.
Y creía que le estaba quitando dinero.
Exactamente. Entonces, pero they connect on the way to Baracoa.
I love that.
Which is, it's not the typical Cuban stories you see here. A lot of the Cuban stories that we're used to is about, the desperation of leaving the island and having to get out of the island and just leave the misery. Yes, there is that.
Yeah, what was that black and white movie a million years ago? Bitter.
Como habla para fresa y chocolate.
No, esa era. No sé, pero estaba en blanco y negro. Anyway. But yes, most of the movies are, and that's what they go to, and that's what they go to. And obviously, for right reasons, people have had to deal with that in their life, in their history. So the story is important, pero como un breath of fresh air para poder ver este queer storytelling. ¿Tú me entiendes? It's like a different look at life in Cuba.
Absolutely. So, and that's important to see too, that there are people that, live, it's like they live with, limitations because they don't have a lot, but they're still happy.
They're still happy.
And they love their people.
And they love their country.
And their country. And they, they don't love probably the system, and some may love it. I don't know. Pero it's not about all wanting to leave or all wanting to be geneteros, which is something we also see a lot in the films from Cuba. No, this is not about that. This is about the regular Joes, in Cuba.
And the relationships between these people.
Yeah, and how they love each other and how they love their country. And you see it. And it looks so beautiful because Cuba is a beautiful country. I've never been, but I've seen it in pictures.
Yeah.
And I love to go one day, but who knows? Hopefully soon. But it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful story.
I love this. Next up, lesbians. Yes, we see you, baby. Okay, Joan. Sometimes. ¿Es la verdad? ¿Lo dije así? O Jones?
Es Jones.
Jones. Like cojones.
Cojones. Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, so we celebrate you also, okay? There are so many women's films that you will love, but this one is going on April 25th at 7:30 p.m. at the Silver Spot Cinema downtown Miami and streaming May 4th through the 10th, okay? So, Jone, like honey. Jone sometimes. First love, fiestas, fuegos artificiales. Y emociones al mil. Okay, that's what I got from the trailer,
It's more than that. Es una historia. So it's a young women's story, okay?
Es como de amar por primera vez como joven.
Right. Like, first love, right? Because Jone is like 18, I think. She's 18. She's taking care of her little sister who's like 12. Their mother died, but their father is still alive with them. He's in his 50s, but he's going through Parkinson diagnosis. And so she's dealing with all this at home. The father is becoming ill and more ill as he goes, but then also hanging out with her friends. I don't know when you were coming out, but that kind of like, finding your freedom in Bilbao, in the Basque, esto es in the Basque country, in the north of Spain, which is known for, fantastic street parties. And this is the party of the summer. It's a whole week of parties. And in that mix, she's coming out, and she meets this girl from Madrid, and then they had it out. It's very good. It's very pretty to find that first love, and but it's more than that, because she's dealing also with her father's situation, and but it shows you that Spanish are willing to explore other realities.
Yeah, and this is the lesbian spotlight, okay? So know
The
that,
Latin
all right?
lesbian spotlight.
The Latin lesbian spotlight, okay? So that's happening April 25th at 7:30 p.m. And I mean, it seems
There's a
beautiful.
party after too.
Yay!
Yeah, there's a party at the Silver Spot.
Yeah, I love that. There's something about Outshine Film Festival is that you don't just get a movie, right? There's like 5 or 6 different parties throughout the festival that you get to be a part of, and they're always great. DJ, food, drinks. It's always a great time.
We have at the same time. So we have the Latin Silver Spot male party and the female party. So it's Jones sometimes for the women, and for the men is an island away from you.
Oh.
So it's also from Spain, and it's happening at the same time, and we all connect after at the party.
Is that different from Una Isla de Ti?
Una Isla de Ti.
Same one?
La misma, sí.
Oh, okay. So then we're going into Una Isla de Ti, all right? So the Latin Spotlight and Party, okay? So like Dino said, both these movies are going on at the same time, and then after, all the people that went to the lesbian one and all the people that went to the gay one all come together and have a great party. We do it every year, and it's a lot of fun, okay? So ahora el chisme que yo vine a ver is Una Isla de Ti, okay? So April 25th at 7 p.m. at Silver Spot Cinema, downtown Miami. Una Isla de Ti, left at the altar, goes to an island y termina flirting with his best friend's papá.
Que está buenísimo.
Dino, pero esto es un pecado. Pero delicioso.
No,
Tell me about it.
But if you see that, so he's.
If you see the daddy.
If you see the daddy, he travels. So this guy who's British, so they're flying from London to Gran Canaria.
Okay.
So he and his best friend, who's Spanish, ella vive en Londres. Este es el rubio que está en el screen. Él acaba de terminar con el novio, que lo dejó en el altar y qué sé yo, y él se va a pasar unos días con ella en Gran Canaria. And that, as he arrives in the island, away from his friend, he, desperate, just is going to, I don't know, just kill himself, or he's drowning, and he's rescued by this hot daddy. You don't know who he is at first, but I mean, he's very good looking, Spanish, of course, and but he's the father of the friend. So it starts from there. Una cantidad de all these crazy characters around them, the mother, the friends, all these things that happen because they don't want them to find out that they are hooking up. So, and there's music in between. It's all good.
I love
it's
that.
all good. It's beautiful.
That sounds like a blast right there. And after that movie, you get a party, like I told you before. So I want to talk to you about the closing night. But first, let's talk about I Know Who My God Is. Okay. And the reason I added this to our lineup, because it's not a Spanish film, but I think it's so important. You know, me and Dino have had extensive conversations about religion and about how that affects our community, and how many people in our community fear religion because maybe they were ostracized or treated a certain way growing up in organized of religion, you know. And so I Know Who My God Is explores the roles of faith within the LGBTQ plus community, delving into how belief, spirituality, and identity intersect in deeply personal and often complicated ways. Okay, let's watch the trailer.
People guilting you, you can't get away from. No matter who you become in this world, no matter whether you transition or a straight person, somebody's gonna guilt you for being who you are.
You know, people walk by and they see me, we do the little cross thing. I don't know what that means. Maybe they think I'm a sinner.
Churches is losing people. They are more and more empty.
Islam really doesn't talk that clearly about homosexuality in the Quran.
I've studied the Bible. Being gay is not an issue as far as the Bible is concerned.
I grew up in a Catholic household. When my mom got cancer, I was placed the blame for her cancer by my dad.
I'm not going to go to hell. I don't believe in that. Why? Because I love, because I take care of family, because I do what I like to do, I'm going to hell.
I've never blamed God for anything. I blame people. You know, I blame books, I blame teachings, I blame society, but I've never blamed God.
I want to ask them this. The people that like guilting people and things, have you ever stopped and looked at yourself in the mirror? I know who my God is. I know where my faith is. I know who I talk to every night, and I know where my blessings come from each and every day, and I know I'm blessed. And nobody can ever take that from me. You can call me whatever you want, but you cannot take away from me how I feel about myself with my God.
Wow, what a great trailer. And I just want to say that I know a few people in it, one being my best friend, Cal. And it's, I love, and, Claudia Castillo, Velva Lenore, so many, Mr. Lee is in it. So many incredible people are in this doc, and we only saw a minute of it, How does that touch you?
We talk about this many times on Queer News Tonight about religion in the Latin community, and for us that grew up in Latin America. I wasn't born in this country. I came from Latin America.
Colombia's very Catholic. Venezuela so
too.
is.
Yeah, so is too in Venezuela. And how we grow up with this duality. Sometimes love and hate. That's my case. And I love the way my parents raised me in the belief, but I don't appreciate the institution.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of turmoil, internal turmoil as we come here, and especially in Miami, in a place where you can be yourself and express yourself. Back home, we have to hide it many times, and it's it creates some trauma as you grow up. And Latinos. Any Latino, I'm not just saying, from Venezuela or Colombia, anywhere in Latin America, you can relate to this.
Yes, 100%. 100%. We're conditioned, by our family members. We're brainwashed by the stuff that we were raised with, I had to go to a memorial over the weekend, and it was at a Catholic church. So they had a whole mass, right? And it was 300 gay people there. And you can tell everybody is doing the words and, and kneeling down and standing up, because it's like, it's automatic. It's automatic. You know what I mean?
I tell you a quick story. When I arrived in Miami, my partner's, one of his best friends from work, who was gringo, a white boy from the South, from Georgia, adorable, beautiful, gay, very gay at that. Unfortunately, he died of AIDS back in the day. And his boyfriend, who was from Nicaragua, wanted to have a mass for him, because we do that as we
of course
you have a mass to
send the person
right.
To where they need to go, right?
I don't know why he did it in the Catholic Church, because my friend was not Catholic, but he did. And here we are, a bunch of us were Latinos, and so some guys were American, white, Americans. And I hear the priest, who was young. This is the late 90s, okay? And he is basically chastising us because we were all gay.
Oh my God.
You can imagine how I felt, and this is me trying to reconcile with, being Catholic and all that, and being gay, and he is just putting the fault on him for being gay and punishment. So this is just to give you a little piece of it. I know there are people that are not going to agree with me, and it's fine. I love my belief, my spirituality, but I just cannot stand going to that institution anymore.
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, and mind you, I know that people went because we felt, you know what I mean? It's a mass.
We were celebrating his life.
And it's like, you're not expecting that,
We were celebrating his life.
Can you say his name?
Smita Adhikari.
Okay, so that Sam, director, I adore you. You were the one that put this together. You're incredible. Great. I didn't want to say your name incorrectly, so I had the doctor do it.
It's good that you did, and that you reflected that in the South Florida community. This is one of the shorts in our South Florida filmmakers. So there's going to be
correct? This is May 28th.
So there's going to be one. There's going to be one in Miami. at the same time, and then one in Fort Lauderdale, so that you can attend, and see filmmakers from South Florida bringing their work to the festival. There is another one called Neon Reef. Friends of mine that are working on rescuing the coral reef in South Florida.
I love that.
Patrick Breckscheid and David Greaser. I send you my love. They're adorable, super smart, and they made a documentary about that and them trying to, reactivate the community to rescue the coral reef.
The reefs, they're dying at an alarming rate.
So
let's talk about closing night. Okay, so closing night, wow, what a party. We'll Find Happiness, May 3rd at 6 p.m. at Savor Cinema, Fort Lauderdale, followed by the after party. Dino, real talk, okay? Tell me about this movie.
Is this one of my favorite films? I mean, I would say, if not my favorite film. It's just that it's so good. It's actually so current. Because es la situación real de los inmigrantes que tienen que salir de sus países por ser homosexuales. So they are escaping the persecution of gay people in their country. In this case, it's a guy from Iran and another one from Morocco.
My God, but how perfect for the times right now.
And
that's so crazy.
Yeah, and the guy in Iran is about to get married, and then he's outed. And he had to run in the middle of the night to leave Iran. He gets on in the way out, kind of like in a mission to just escape and not be killed. And he gets on a boat, and then, it goes to many different places. And in one of those, he met this guy from Morocco, and they're escaping to Canada. God bless Canada, because they welcome these people, unlike our country, unlike the U.S. at this moment in time, where we are basically rejecting them.
Yeah.
In Canada, they are welcoming them. It's not an easy process, but they arrive and they have to fight to stay. So the story takes place in Toronto. And how they fight to be able to stay in Canada and not being sent back to Iran, because he's gonna get killed.
Lo matan allá, si lo devuelven. So imagínate esa pelea. Van a hacer lo que sea para quedarse en Canadá, obvio. Pero I mean, what an incredible way to close out
a fantastic film that it tells us, the current times we're living, because most people migrate because they have to, not because they want to.
Yeah.
Let's face it. So,
and that's the thing. Like, it's like, we have an immigration problem. We really don't. We've always been the land of come as you are, all are welcome, let's go.
Understand that these people are escaping, a harsh reality.
Yeah.
And then if we don't help them, they're going to get killed. He's certainly going to get killed. So, es mucho de eso que lo vemos actualmente también, porque vienen muchos inmigrantes de Latinoamérica con la misma situación. Hubo un venezolano que lo mandaron al SECOT, ¿te acuerdas?
Sí.
Venezolano gay, y lo mandaron, la administración de Trump lo mandó al SECOT en El Salvador.
Por un tiempo también.
Right, que finalmente he went back to Venezuela. So this is something that is happening in our Latin community too. So this is something that we're going through in the United States, but other countries around the world see it differently. And Canada is the light in many of these cases, because they have a true humanistic approach to this situation. It's not easy, and you see it in the film. It's not easy for them to stay.
But it's an option.
But it's a valid option, and there are people fighting for them to stay.
Wow.
Because, they're going to be deported.
Because nobody's fighting for you here. So, wow. Okay, so that is, that last movie is We'll Find Happiness, and that's May 3rd at 6 p.m. at Savor Cinema, Fort Lauderdale, and that's going to be the after party day, like I said. So,
there's a party at the Savor, outside the Savor, a block party. There's a block party. First time we're gonna have a block party.
I love that. That's for closing?
For the closing.
Oh, I love that. You're gonna enjoy that. And Savor Cinema, that block is so perfect for people to do things outside, so you'll love it. Dino, Outshine is really highlighting Latin stories porque es tan importante, ¿verdad? I mean, contar con nuestras historias. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's a few of us or there's a ton of us bringing out this content. It's so important for you to see yourself on the big screen, or for you to see the truths. on the screen.
And in a current time, in this political environment that we're living in this country, that you get to see how diverse and productive and positive many of Latin American communities are. We cannot just let the Trump administration portray us as negative.
Yeah.
And there are very good stories and good things being made in Latin America that highlight, the positive that we bring to this country, okay?
Which is a lot. Aquí en mi show tenemos un juego que se llama FayWhat with FayWhat. Y básicamente tú dices la primera cosa que tú pienses, ¿ok? So, Dino rápido, sin pensar, all right?
Okay.
Say what with FayWhat. ¿Playa o ciudad?
Ciudad.
¿Daddy con experiencia o twink problemático?
Daddy con experiencia anytime.
¿Amor prohibido o amor complicado?
Amor complicado.
¿Llorar en el cine o llorar después en el carro?
Oh no, honey, I cry.
Ahí mismo.
Yo lloro en el cine.
Ahí mismo.
And I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either. Yo I'll have like a tower of crying. I don't care. If I'm touched, I'm touched. ¿Café cubano o tequila?
Café cubano.
¿Vaquero sexy o chef intenso?
Vaquero sexy chacal. Chacal.
¿Happy ending o final que te deja pensando?
Oh, happy ending. Happy ending for sure.
Happy ending. I'm not going to say anything else because your mom is watching. All right. All right. Aprendimos demasiado hoy. Right? We really did. And I learn something every single time I sit in bed with Dino.
Right?
Every time I see Dino, I learn something because the reality is that I hate speaking Spanish. Like, I hate it.
And I love it.
Like, when I call him on the phone, he makes me talk to him in Spanish just because, and I hate it.
And I love it. I like speaking in English, but I love an opportunity to speak Spanish with my friends, once in a while.
I know.
And with your wife, too, we speak Spanish.
Ellos dos se hablan así. Ellos se van a nadar, ¿verdad? Porque los dos son naderos. Ellos ahí hablando mierda. Y yo, pero coño. Esto es mucho.
I love it. I love to speak Spanish, with you and Teresa and, with my friends. Because, let's face it, my life is in English. So I only have a few opportunities to speak to my mom and some friends. But then, el español hay que mantenerlo, hay que conservarlo.
Sí.
Y hay que estar orgullosos de hablar español, sobre
Honestamente, y uno puede ir para uno de esos language institutes o cógete un Duolingo y ya empiezas porque te digo que los latinos somos sabrosos, somos calientes.
O búscate un novio que hable español, o
una novia que hable español.
Exacto. O sea, tú te la buscaste que hable español. Yo me busqué uno que habla inglés nada más.
I know, solo. Él se buscó un blanquito lindísimo.
Pero ahora tiene que hablar español.
Pero ahora va a aprender.
Tiene que aprender.
No, me imagino, no va a ir a conocer a tu mamá, a la suegra, sin hablar español. ¿Cómo va a hacer? ¿Con qué? ¿Con qué falta de respeto? Yo aprendí español, señora, para hablar con usted. ¿Tú ves?
Y yo aprendí inglés para hablar con la familia de él.
¿Tú ves?
Para que tú veas. O sea, que no, es posible.
It really is. So, mi gente, Outshine is happening April 23rd through May 3rd, okay? En lugares como Miami Beach Botanical Garden, Silver Spot Cinema in downtown Miami, Savor Cinema in Fort Lauderdale. Tenemos de todo. Y también streaming después, so no excuses, okay?
Una semana.
Follow them, get your tickets at Outshine Film, porque apoya cine queer. Es apoyar nuestras historias, okay? So, go watch a film, fall in love, cry a little in the theater, o métete en problemas, pero con estilo y amor.
Gracias, corazón.
I love you, Dino.
Gracias por de nuevo tenerme en el programa
I
por poder promocionar el festival que es tan importante para todos nosotros en la comunidad y además que nos deja interactuar, nos permite conocer otras culturas, conocer lo maravilloso que es el cine y cómo refleja nuestras realidades. Así que por favor apoyen el festival and I hope to see you April 23rd through May 3rd in Miami for 7 days and in Fort Lauderdale for the last 3 days. So check it out at outshinefilm.com.
And you never know who you're going to meet. Okay, because understand that the people who come to this aren't the normal people that we usually see at certain events. I just want to let you know, because I already know 3 different couples that got together at an Outshine event. And I'm not even lying. No me mires así. I literally, and they're still together.
Amy, my friend Amy, who was on the board, she met her wife on the festival. And they're still together 20-some years later. So, Amy McGrady, I love you.
Amy, I adore Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so much fun. All right, Dino, give them your best. FayWhat?
Thank you, FayWhat. Thank you, Tom.